The hardest thing about content creation is coming up with content ideas regularly on a consistent basis. That's the hardest part for me, at least. So I've just built a super simple workflow that uses GPT-4 vision to analyze images of popular content within your niche and then recommends a bunch of content ideas to you that will be relevant to your target audience. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching. This is the make.com workflow. Super simple, just 4 steps. But before we get into this, let me show you the Airtable base. This is also very simple. I'm using this example just to show how I generate content ideas for my new YouTube channel. You can use this system for any other platform, for LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, anything. Because my YouTube channel is completely new, what I will do is I will take screenshots of somebody else's channel, somebody who creates related content, who has similar target audience that I'm trying to reach out to. In my case, I have taken screenshots of Corbin Brown's content. Corbin creates fantastic content on Zapier automations. My channel focuses on make.com, so very similar audiences, I would assume. And all I do is I zoom out and I take a screenshot of 12 videos or so. In this example, I've just taken one image, but you can of course use multiple images if you want. You need to upload your image, and this column is for triggering the workflow. You just need to click the button and that's going to trigger the webhook in Make. And this column is where you would receive the output, which is the content ideas and titles. So that's your super simple Airtable base. Let's now jump into make.com. Let me auto align this. This is the webhook. You have the Airtable get a record module here. All this does is it gets the record from Airtable. There is the generate content ideas OpenAI module, and this is my prompt. If anybody's interested in this, let me know in the comments and I'm happy to share it with all of you all. But my prompt says, these are the most viral videos of somebody's YouTube channel. Please analyze the images, including the view count and titles. Based on the images, give me 10 viral content ideas relevant to my YouTube channel with strong SEO optimized titles. I've also mentioned that I want it to be maximum 70 characters each, because I realized that if I don't mention the character limit, it tends to just go overboard. And GPT-4 tends to use, big words, fancy language. So I wanted to make sure that I say, please use plain conversational English and give me a strong hook. So I've asked it for titles, but I'm also asking it for a strong hook. The thing that works for me when it comes to creating content, whether it's for TikTok, which is where originally I've been posting a lot of content, is if I have a strong hook and if I have a good title, that gets me so much more excited to actually create the content. I wouldn't create the content and then think about the title. I want to first know, right, what's the hook I'm going to go with? And it just makes the rest of it so much easier. And because it cannot analyze the hooks from just the screenshot of images, I have to give it a little bit more help. I have also given some examples of a strong hook in the prompt. There is the title, there is the examples of a strong hook that I wanted to give me for each video, and I wanted to give me a rationale behind suggesting that idea. You may not want to know the rationale. Feel free to not use any of this section. I personally want the title, I want a strong hook, and I want to hear from it, why have you recommended this title? I've also said don't use words like streamline, revolutionize, skyrocket, maximize, unleash, and supercharge. It just ends up spitting out these words and using it in every single output, which is just so annoying. So I'm making sure that I add this here, but I have noted that even though you add this line here, sometimes it would just ignore this and it would still use these words. And in which case you can just, I'll show you what you do if you still are not happy with the titles. And then I've given it a bit of a context that my channel focuses on Make, Airtable, and OpenAI to build AI automations and workflows. And I've also said only give what is asked, no text before or after. If I didn't add that line, it was giving me a chunk of text before and after. So I just wanted to be to the point and just give me 10 content ideas in the form of titles and hooks and rationale. So that's the OpenAI prompt. I'm not going to go into any of this right now because when we build it from scratch, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. But I just want to show you how this works. Let's run this scenario, wait for new data, and let's go here and click this button. When you click here, you'll see webhook is accepted. And there you go, webhook That's triggered. The Airtable record is generated, and it's now generating content ideas. This takes a little bit of time. GPT-4 Vision definitely takes a bit of time. What I do think is worth mentioning is that you need to think about GPT-4 tokens, think about how much money is worth spending for you, for your business. And yeah, just be mindful of that. So it's all done and the task is complete. And if you go to Airtable base, you'll see this section has been populated and you have 10 titles, 10 hooks, and there is a rationale for each idea that's been suggested. Let's look at how many what's the token usage? 1926. That's less than 3 cents. So, and I've got 10 content ideas to work with. You'll also notice that not all 10 ideas are not great. You'll probably like 3 or 4 out of them. And that's for me to spend 3 cents. It's totally worth it. And so you have to think about your business and if it makes sense to you. And so if you're not happy with these ideas and these hooks, or maybe you like a couple of them, maybe you like 3 of them or 4 of them, all you do is just click on the button again, you'll have a whole set of new ideas. That's how it works. Let's just quickly have a look at the titles and hooks as well. I like this hook. Stop wasting hours on CRM data. Here's a smarter way. That's not bad at all. Transform your project management with these simple AI hacks. That's a solid hook. I wouldn't use the word transform, but I think some of these hooks definitely get you 80 to 85% there. See, it's use skyrocket again, which I did not want it to use, but it sometimes just does that. This is fantastic. Create a year's content in a day. Here's the AI secret. So again, I wouldn't say here's the AI secret, but this is a great hook. Do you want to create a year's content in one day? Keep watching. So there's tons you can do with it. Now let's take one title that's not very good, and I'll show you what you can do to make it even better. Now let's assume you love this content idea. You want to create content around how you can make a much better booking appointment system, but you don't like the title. It's frankly not that great. Effortless booking system with AI Make and Airtable. What you can do is you can take this title and you can go to ChatGPT and rework on just this title. So take a bunch of, so if you're here in Airtable, you delete whatever you like and you don't like, you can make changes right here. But let's say this is the one you want to rework on. So you copy that and you go to ChatGPT. Now I have ChatGPT Plus, so I have ChatGPT 4, but if this, you can use 3.5 as well. 3.5 is pretty good as well. And I have a prompt that I have here just to make the title even better. You just come here and you take the prompt and you paste it here. And so all I've done in this prompt is I have given it a bit of context. I've given examples of what good title looks like. And I've said the same thing again, use plain English, no big words, do not use words like revolutionize, yada, yada, yada. So this is a prompt I've created for making titles even better. And let's see if you go to ChatGPT and rework on the prompt, if it's any better. Book smarter, not harder. AI-powered scheduling with Make and Airtable. Say goodbye to booking hassles. Discover the ease of AI with Make and Airtable. This is already much better than what you had. So I would probably do that. And the third thing you can do is you could have ideally, if it makes sense for your business, you should have a custom GPT. A custom GPT that's trained on your business, that you can train on what good titles look for you, what your tone of voice is, what's a good hook for you. And if you have that custom GPT set up, this whole process will just become 1,000 times easier. So you don't have to copy paste the prompt every time. So that's one thing you can do. Anyway, that's the process that I am using for generating new content ideas. And what you could do is you have a bunch of titles here. You take the ones you want. You delete the ones you don't want. You could create a separate column which has your final list of content ideas, and you could then create a status column where you can change the status to awaiting approval. If there's somebody else in your company that needs to first approve your content ideas, it could be sent to your manager. Your manager could get a Slack message, or your manager could get an email letting them know that it's ready for them to have a look at. Now let's go ahead and build this from scratch. But this time what I want to do is use a couple of images, not just one image. And in my view, when you use at least 2 images, the output is just a little bit better. So let's see how it works. All right, so all you have to do is take another screenshot. So we have 12 videos in the first screenshot. Let's take a screenshot of the next 12 videos. All right, and go here, and that's the second one. And all you have to do is, let's just delete this output completely because we're going to run this again. Now we have 2 images. That's the first one, and that's the second one. Okay, let's now see how this scenario changes if we have 2 images to work with. Let me show you that if we don't change anything, what happens. So let's run this once. Accepted. Webhook, Airtable, and let's wait for GPT Vision to analyze hopefully 2 images. But I've done this before, so I know it doesn't do it. If I'm working with multiple images, there needs to be a change. So you'll notice what happens now. Anyway, this is, you have an output and that's all good. And you might think it's all working well because you have a bunch of content ideas generated here. But if you look at input, you'll notice that there's only 1 image that's been taken in, not the 2 images. That's because you need to add an iterator tool right here. What this tool does is it will split the images into separate bundles. So what you do want to do is add the iterator module right here, and then you would add an array aggregator. When we run this, it'll all make sense. You just need to add the source, which is the Airtable base, and needs to be, no, actually that's not it. You just need this, and the image URL is your URL. So it'll take this URL and it is going to make one array of all the images. And you say okay, and within OpenAI, all you need to do is map it to that array. Here, and you click on array. That. Let's auto align this. Let me have a look at this once more. That's the URL. That's the Airtable. This is where you notice within popular videos is where both the images are saved. So that's what you're mapping here, popular videos. And then the array aggregator will take those 3 bundles and make it into one array specific to the OpenAI module. And how you do that is just you need to just make sure that you have the correct URL from this module. And within Airtable, you'll map it. Oh, for some reason that did not work. Delete that. You take this and you see. Okay, I think this should work now. So you have the iterator module. I'll show it to you once again. And that's your array aggregator. And in ChatGPT, all you do is you map it to the array. And that's it. Those are the only changes that you need to make if you wanted to analyze more than 1 image. Let's run this once again and see if it works. Wait for new data. You go here. I am going to delete this and click. Right. Let's see what we get. I have so far seen that every single time I've used multiple images, the output is just a little bit better. And that's your output. So first, let's look at the images. input, you'll see it's now taken in both the images, image 1 and image 2. So you know it's analyzed both the images. And let's have a look at the title and hook and rationale. Drowning in your emails, watch how AI clears your inbox. I love that hook. Very good hook. That's a good content idea. Inventory management using Airtable and Make, absolutely. You can even connect it to Shopify. So that's a really good one. Boosting sales with AI, personalized outreach in email, that's a good one. I think these are fantastic. I think these are way better than the first time we ran this scenario. That's a subjective opinion, but you can run your own experiments. I feel like if you use multiple images, it always works better. All right, guys, there you have it. This is how I'm using GPT Vision to generate a bunch of content ideas for myself. You can use the scenario for any other social media tool of your choice. If you like it, let me know in the comments below. That's it from me for now. Thank you and have a lovely day.